Alright, let's dive into something that just happened in space. Something that feels like a scene straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's 100% real. NASA astronauts just completed a 6.5-hour spacewalk to prep the International Space Station, ISS, for a solar array upgrade. Sounds routine, right? But personally, I think this is way more significant than it seems at first glance. Let me break it down for you. First off, this wasn't just any spacewalk. Astronauts Jessica Meir and Anil Menon installed the final set of mounting hardware for new solar arrays. Now, what makes this really interesting is that these arrays, called iROSAs, are designed to boost the ISS's power supply by 20% to 30%. Think about that for a second. The ISS has been up there for almost 26 years, and its original solar arrays are past their 15-year design life. They're basically working on borrowed time. So, this upgrade isn't just about keeping the lights on, it's about ensuring the ISS can continue its groundbreaking research and serve as a hub for future missions. From my perspective, this is a perfect example of how space exploration is as much about maintenance and sustainability as it is about discovery. Now, let's talk about the spacewalk itself. Meir and Menon spent over 6 hours outside the station, assembling triangular brackets and routing cables. One thing that immediately stands out is the precision required for this kind of work. They're floating in zero gravity, with the Earth spinning below them, and they're basically building a giant erector set in space. What many people don't realize is how physically and mentally demanding this is. Every movement has to be calculated, every tool secured, because one wrong move could have serious consequences. It's not just about the technical skills, it's about staying calm and focused in one of the most extreme environments imaginable. But here's what really got me. During the spacewalk, Meir took a moment to point out the moon to Menon. She said, "I can see a future moon base there." That line hit me hard. If you take a step back and think about it, these astronauts aren't just fixing a space station, they're part of a larger narrative. The ISS is a stepping stone for NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the moon and eventually send them to Mars. This raises a deeper question: how do these small, incremental steps in low Earth orbit connect to humanity's bigger ambitions? In my opinion, it's all about laying the groundwork. Every spacewalk, every upgrade, every piece of hardware installed brings us closer to those future missions. Another detail I find fascinating is the mention of Mars at the end of the spacewalk. Meir reflected on the Curiosity rover's landing in 2012 and how it proved Mars could have supported life. She said, "One day, humans will visit Curiosity." That's a powerful statement. It ties the work being done on the ISS today to the possibility of human exploration of Mars tomorrow. What this really suggests is that the ISS isn't just a research lab, it's a testbed for the technologies and procedures we'll need for deep space missions. The solar array upgrade, for instance, is about more than just power, it's about proving we can sustain long-term human presence in space. Now, let's zoom out for a second. This spacewalk was the 96th U.S. EVA in support of the ISS. That's 96 times astronauts have ventured outside the station to build, repair, and upgrade it. It's a reminder of how much effort goes into keeping this orbiting laboratory operational. But it also makes me wonder, what's next? The ISS is scheduled to deorbit in 2030, and while private space stations might fill the gap, there's still a lot of uncertainty. Personally, I think the ISS's legacy will be defined by how well it prepares us for what comes after. These solar array upgrades? They're not just about the ISS, they're about the future of human spaceflight. So, here's my closing thought: when we hear about a spacewalk or a solar array upgrade, it's easy to brush it off as just another day in space. But if you take a moment to think about it, these are the building blocks of something much bigger. Every bolt tightened, every cable routed, every hour spent in the void of space is a step toward expanding our reach into the cosmos. What do you think? Is this just routine maintenance, or is it part of something far more profound? Let me know in the comments below.